Hello! In today's video we will be continuing the Harry Potter rebinding series and we will be doing Chamber of Secrets today. I've basically got everything except the end papers, they'll be arriving in the post. So we're going to start off with the hardcover today and getting this text block as close to done as I need it to be. For this project I'm kind of basing each of the books off of the colour that I envision the book as. So for the Chamber of Secrets, to me that screams green because there's a snake. Bit on the nose, but yeah. So I've already done the cover design, but it was quite difficult to pick what I wanted to do for the design because I wanted it to be similar to the Philosopher's Stone one in the way that that was quite intricate and delicate and looked really nice. But I couldn't for the life of me get snakes to work in that sense. So instead I had to think of several different things. So I thought, well, if it's not the snakes, what else could I use? And I eventually landed on spider's webs because they go into Aragog. So yeah, that's the theme for today, and we're going to crack on and get started. So let's go. Okay, so I want to start out by saying that I've been buying these books secondhand from a website in the UK called Vinted, and this book was listed as brand new, without tags, perfect condition. In what world would this be classed as perfect condition? That's definitely not brand new with tags, perfect condition. That is mildly annoying. I can, I suppose, remove those pages and then do the end pages, but now that's making me think I need to check the rest of the book. Luckily, it's just the first couple of pages, so like this page where it's got like the reviews, the very first Harry Potter page, but there is another one just behind it, so it's not gonna alter it too much. It gets rid of the bit about all the other books, but my mum knows about that, so I'm just gonna have to get rid of these because I can't have that in a book. Like, okay, so I've removed those two pages and now I'm going to put it in the book press and sand down these edges to get rid of the slight yellowing and little bits of marker pen that you can see on the book, and then I can get on with the hardcover. So the pages have now been sanded, they're a whole lot less yellowy, and it's completely gotten rid of the little bits of marker pen that was on the bottom of the book. So I'm happy with that. I think that's pretty much all I can do at the moment in regards to setting up the text block. I've just got to wait till the end papers arrive, and then I can do the mold cloth and get that all glued together. I'm going to start on the hardcover now. So after spending some time working out some maths, I think I've got the measurements for what I want the book board to be. I'm doing this at night time, so my brain's not working at like full capacity because I am tired. But besides the point, I think I've got the right measurements that I want to use. If that's wrong, well, then I'll have to figure it out again. But I'm going to give it a whirl and we're going to cut the book board and have a look. If it doesn't work, then I'll alter it. But if it does, winner winner chicken dinner. In the effort of being low waste, I reused the paper that the person had drawn on to complete the hardcover, and let's just say this, I feel like an evil genius, mainly because my maths worked out right and I have the right amount of spacing that I want. Does that make me an evil genius? Absolutely not. Just means that my maths worked, which is rare because I barely passed my GCSE. But yeah, now I can do the book cloth, and that's really exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on with that. And yeah, I'm very happy about that. Okay, so the book cover has been in the book press overnight, and I've come to realise I'm not happy with the level of overhang that I've got. It's really just too short. There's like a tiny 1mm overhang, and I'm really not happy with that. So it's really just too short. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to redo it again. It's a bit of a shame, but I suppose I could use this as a learning opportunity. Not much I can really do about it, but I'm just not quite happy with how much overhang that has. I feel like it needs a bit more. So I'm going to use my bookboard measurements from the Philosopher's Stone because I'm trying to keep it equal to that, at least as close as I can get it. Obviously the spine and that of the different books won't be the same, but because they all fit in a slipcase, they should all be about the same length in the height and the width of the front and back pieces of the board. So if I use the height and width of the front and back from the Philosopher's Stone, I should have the same amount of overhang, which, why didn't I think of that before? I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to get my Cricut machine on the go, doing the cutouts for the actual cover. So we'll get that on the go, and hopefully doing it again will be a bit better. I'm happy with the spine. The spine looks perfectly fine. I'm just not happy with the side of the bookboard really. So it's a shame, but I can't really do anything about it right now. I'm sure there'll be another time where I can use this this case for a different book that I've got. Or maybe I could make a book to fit this case. We'll see. But it's just not meant to be for this one. And that's my perfectionist tendencies coming into play, but you know what, you live and you learn. Anyway, let's get cracking with that. Get the Cricut machine on, get myself a cup of tea, and we'll get bookbinding again. Okay, so the new book cover has come out of the book press and I've finished weeding the designs. So I'm now ready to put these on and start doing the ironing. it's a good job I've ordered some more bookboard, because the iron stumps me yet again and has again ruined a project that I've done with this iron on vinyl, because it's too hot and I don't even know what heat settings to have this vinyl on, and that's really annoying. Because I spent so long weeding that. I can save the back part of the cover, but the front part is now completely ruined. I don't know what happened, but it somehow melted the plastic on the top. You see that? Which is then pulled off the vinyl, and yeah, well, it just looks like a load of rubbish. So, oh my god, it's got loads of stuff on the table as well. Oh, I bet that's book glue. Oh, grim. To cut a long story short, either I used the bookcase I did earlier, the one that I didn't like the measurements of, or I yet again create a whole nother one, which is looking like it's going to be the case. Not happy that this has happened, but you know. Okay, so I may have rage quit on the iron situation and bought myself a mini heat press. So that's arrived, and we are going to use this from here on out. I'm going to do a test on some scrapbook cloth, because Lord knows I've got a lot of that, especially with all the mistakes I've been making. So I've got that over there. I'm going to test to see sort of like how it responds to like the different heat levels, just get a kind of gist for the whole thing. So hopefully this won't ruin my projects unlike that iron. Okay, so I've completed my test with the Cricut heat press, and I've figured out that setting number 1 is just too low. Setting number 3 is too hot, and kind of melted it to the plastic a little bit, so I couldn't peel it while it was still warm. But setting number 2 seems pretty much perfect. But yes, so I'm happy now knowing that setting number 2 is the one to use, rather than just going straight on and doing it on the top of the book. So I'm glad that I've done this little mini test. It's been quite informative. Because I've been really impatient, I decided not to wait for the glue on the book cover to dry before I did the heat transfer vinyl. And so it sort of, I don't know, made it go a little bit foggy. And you can see, not so much anymore, but on the inside you could see the glue had sort of seeped through. Now I know whenever I use the heat transfer vinyl, it always makes the bookboard warp a little bit, so I don't know whether that's because it's reactivating the glue or what, but if it's affected anything, you'll know, and I'll know, and hopefully I won't have to make another one of these blooming bookcases, because I am fed up with this. Only joking, I'm not, I'm actually quite enjoying it, but I am kind of annoyed that I have to keep making these, so I'd rather not make it again. So maybe my impatience has not worked in my favour here. We'll see, we'll see. Is this a fluke? Possibly. Am I going to do it again to test it? Probably. But it seems to have worked. Despite the fact that it started fogging up a little bit and it looked a little bit suspicious, it seems to have stuck on and looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that, and there's the back. I have yet to cut the spine out of the heat transfer vinyl, mainly because, well, I just forgot to do it, so that's that. I'm pretty happy with that, and that's going to sit in the book press until tomorrow. My end papers have just arrived. I've got lots of different ones for all of the rest of the books in the Harry Potter series. Here's a sneak peek. So I'm going to write on the bottom section of which one I want for which book, if that makes sense, so that I know that I've got the right paper for each book. And yeah, that'll be what I'm doing next. And then I'll be continuing on the text block, and then I think after that I've got to do the spine on the hardcover, cut that out on the Cricut machine, and then glue it all together. Okay, so I've done the text block now. I've added the end bands and the end papers and the mull cloth and glued that all together. I tried speeding up the process with the hairdryer because I'm really impatient, but it turns out I'm too impatient that I can't be bothered to just sit here and continue doing that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go onto the computer and cut out the spine bit from the Cricut machine and get on with that. Hello, me again. I've had no end of issues with this project, but guaranteed they're all my fault. But I was doing the lovely spine, with the background of the webs, and it looks beautiful. But of course, my dumb bum forgot to cover the blooming front cover and I've melted it off. Safe to say, very annoyed. I was on the home stretch and I've gone and messed it up again. Why didn't I cover it? Why? That is really so annoying. But I can't do anything about it now. I've just got to crack on and bloody well do it again. I guess the next time you see me, I will probably have redone this all again. Thank you for enjoying my breakdowns several times because of careless mistakes that I have made. Hello everyone, it's me back again to give you another disappointing thing that I messed up again. So after recovering that book board, put my text block inside of it and found out that it was way too short. So after having a mentee bee and taking some time off, I decided I was going to try and make a paper version of what the cover should be, in order to get like the measurements right. And I think I've got it this time and I've written it down. So if I haven't, then I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna mess up again. The only thing is, if I mess up this time, I've got to rebuy a whole nother roll of green book cloth because I've only got enough of what I've cut to do one more book. I'm really hoping this goes right. If going by my paper cutout, it should. So, fingers crossed. I report back with some very, very good news. I've only finally gone and blooming done it. It fits and it's got the right amount of thickness around the edge and I am blooming glad. So now we've got to pray to the gods that I have enough of the green book cloth left, and then we can get cracking and do the finishing touches. So once the book cloth is on the bookboard, we can then add the HTV vinyl, heat press that all on, and then we can case it, and then it will be done. And then I can forget about it because, well, yeah. Okay, so after spending the night in the book press, the book cover is now ready for the HTV vinyl. So let's not mess this step up because I have no more green book cloth left, and I really don't want to buy a whole nother roll after I've already bought 2 for this project because I've made that many mistakes. Okay, so the book's in book jail and it will remain there overnight. I just want to say a quick thank you for sticking with me throughout this entire absolute colossal mayhem that is the making of this book. Thank you for sticking along, and yeah, if you liked the video, give it a like and maybe think about giving me a subscribe if you want to see some more videos. Hopefully I won't make as many mistakes in those ones, but we'll see. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you feel like doing so. Let's have a look at the final result.